All right, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can absolutely crush your first job interview, whether you're thinking about applying somewhere and you don't know what to do, or you've already applied somewhere and they're calling you in. I'm going to give you everything that I did to impress the people that were interviewing me and get the job and all that good stuff. So, the first thing, this underlies everything, and this is confidence. You have to be confident in your skills, in your experience, in your strengths and your weaknesses, and you got to be able to package all that up in a presentable, seamless fashion that gets their attention, makes them remember you, and ultimately, when you're talking with the hiring manager or whoever's interviewing you, you want to leave a positive feeling with them. You want to make them feel good and comfortable. And you do that by being confident and friendly and calm. Maintain composure. You don't need to be too excited. You don't need to be too serious. Just don't take it too seriously. Just be lighthearted, and you can be professional without being serious. I think a lot of people either go way too serious or they go way too bubbly, like fun, friendly, like, hey, how are you? How you doing? And it's like they don't like either of that because they can tell you're faking it. Just be natural. Just be how you would be if you were talking to your friend. You wouldn't be like, hey man, how's it going? Or what are you doing? What's your favorite kind of food? Yeah, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And you also wouldn't be like, hello, how are you? How are you doing? I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me in today. I really appreciate this opportunity that you have bestowed upon me. Like, just be yourself. Another thing is when you are being asked a question, like when they ask you, tell me about yourself. What are some of your strengths and weaknesses? Why do you want to work here? They're going to ask you these questions. And you got to tell stories in order to answer these questions. So I'll give you an example. If they ask you, tell me about yourself, you would say, hi, my name is blank, and recently I was just doing this at school. I just had this position. I was just playing this sport. I was just involved in this club or activity. And then say over these past 4 years of high school, one thing that I realized is that I love to blank. I love to serve people. I love to communicate with people. I love to write. I love to read. Whatever it is that you love to do, connect it to the job, right? And so at first, introduce yourself. Then you can say all the activities that you participated in. This is when they're asking you to tell them about yourself. You name all your activities, and then after that, you say why you are confident that you're a good fit for this job and why you have a passion for it. And you connect all your activities and your experience, and you say, and for these reasons, and because I've learned to, and I'll give you an example. I have participated in charity events and food drives and Feed My Starving Children, Salvation Army. And for all of these reasons, I would love to serve in this restaurant because I want to serve people in an environment where they feel welcome, where they feel comforted, where they feel at home, and I want to be able to provide them feeling better than when they came here. And you talk about your love of service, and you talk about how that ties into being at the restaurant, whatever you're doing, server, waiter, whatever it is, right? That's just an example. And then you tell stories when they ask you questions. When they ask you, like, tell me about a time you were undergoing stress and how did you get over it, right? You don't just say, oh yeah, I just had a test a couple weeks ago and I studied for it and I did well. Like, you don't just say that. You give, it's called the STAR method. So situation, whatever the acronym is, situation, time, something, I forget what it is, but be as specific as you can. Place, time, people you're with, the activity, the result, everything. So you're like, oh yeah, a couple months ago, I actually had a project due with me and my other classmates. It's a, physics project. We had to get it done by this date. We were really struggling, but then I stepped in and I started giving roles to everyone else because I knew that we couldn't just keep brainstorming and brainstorming. We actually had to get things done. So I gave out a bunch of roles to all my classmates, and then they started getting it together. And then, lo and behold, we got an A on the project, and that was because I stepped up into my leadership position. And then you tell stories like that. You're tying your experience, your skill set, your strengths into the question by telling a story of what you did. And that's how you should answer, instead of just saying, oh yeah, I am good at reading, I'm good at writing. All right, so after you've answered their questions about your strengths, your weaknesses, talking about why you want to work there, all the different kinds of things that they asked you, once you're done answering all those questions, you are going to get the opportunity to ask them some questions. So they'll be like, do you have any questions for us? To this, you can say, yeah, I do have a few questions. The first question I have is, what challenges do you foresee with this role? Or what things are you looking for me to accomplish in this role? And then they'll give you something. I recommend you have a notepad and pen and paper, whatever, in front of you so you can write down notes. And then the next thing I would ask is, what are some traits of a top employee here? Or who is the ideal person for this role? And then they'll give you some traits, and they'll tell you about some of the things that they expect out of you. And then that's pretty much it. The interview will pretty much be wrapped up at that point, and you're just gonna thank whoever it is. Whether it's one person or a panel of people, you're just gonna thank all of them, shake their hand, tell them thank you again, and then ask if you can right then and there for all of their business cards and emails and information, so that when you get home, you can actually send each one of them, if there's multiple, or you can just send the person a thank you email. And you can, there's so many example thank you emails that you can look up on YouTube. There are literally so many videos on thank you emails to a hiring manager. If you don't get their business cards or emails right there, call wherever you interviewed, like call the place, ask the person at the front desk or whoever's working there if they can give you tell them you just interviewed and that you give them the names of the people, and then you say, I just would like their information, their email, and their position so I could shoot them a quick thank you. And the front desk person will most likely give you the information. And that for sure is gonna stick with them. It's gonna make an impression. They're gonna be like, wow, this person took the time to come in here confidently with all of their stories, tie everything in nicely. They give us a thank you email after, and we feel really good about this person. And you're gonna, if you do this correctly, you're gonna leave a feeling with them. They're gonna remember that you were positive. Like you are gonna be giving off a positive energy that they're gonna remember, and they want to bring that back. They don't want to let you go because you've got this nice, positive, charismatic energy about you that they want to continue to work with. So if they call you back and they tell you get the position, that's great. Mission accomplished. If not, that's fine too. It just probably wasn't meant to be. I mean, if you took all these steps and you did your research and you knew how to get their attention in the interview, you gave the thank you emails, and you were genuinely yourself, maybe it just wasn't for you. And it's time to keep knocking on different doors and keep going until you get what you want. So that's it for this video. Go out and take action. Don't waste time. Peace.